Hello everyone, my name is Dhruv Bhasin and I'm one of the co-founders of Arata. Arata is a brand focused on hair science. We've been backed by global giants like Unilever, L'Oreal and DSG Consumer Partners. We have a projected revenue of about 100 crores, 100 team members, and we also happen to be on season 3 of Shark Tank, and we crushed it. But how did I even get here? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about my relationship with resilience and how it's helped me build a successful startup in India. I remember when we were on our highest of highs and we had raised money from a top VC. We felt untouchable. We were about to become number one. I felt like Karan Aujla feels on Spotify right now. For a fleeting second, I felt like nothing could go wrong. It felt amazing. Our teams were working well together, we had an amazing office, and we were collaborating in person all the time. But here's a term you don't hear that often anymore, in person. Our entire company was in person, and it was the oxygen that kept us alive. And at that time, something very interesting happened. COVID. You guys heard of it? In that moment, I went from Karan Aujla to struggling indie artist. The success that came felt like a distant dream, and we were about to enter our worst nightmare. This company was about to fall apart because its in-person oxygen was gone. And we were staring our nightmare right in the eye. We had to scale down our operation by over 90% overnight. We were running out of money fast. And if we didn't figure out something really quick, we were dead in the water. I've never been punched by Mike Tyson in the face, and I hope I never will, but that sure felt like it. At that moment, I needed a distraction. Anything at that time. I was losing hope in everything, and all silver linings were disappearing. Now, fortunately for me, I have an amazing wife who also happens to be an avid reader. She had discarded a book in the living room called The 5 a.m. Club. I thought to myself, what an extremely stupid title. Who in their right mind would wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning? I had literally woken up at 10 a.m. that morning with a hangover from stress, anxiety, and doom scrolling. But I am irritatingly curious. So I picked up the book and skimmed through it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where my journey with resilience began. The pandemic blew every little bit of mental strength I had into oblivion. And this idiotically hyper-positive book made things a little bit worse. In the first few pages, the book claimed that it would solve all my problems if I woke up at 5 a.m. So I said, okay, challenge accepted. I actually also only took this chance because literally everything around me was crumbling. I love to tell you all that this was a strategic decision, it was well thought out, it was scientific, it was data backed. It was none of those things. It was along the lines of, chalo ye bhi try kar lete hain. The first day I woke up at 5 a.m., I did what any normal human being would do. I picked up my phone and then proceeded to Google, can you die if you wake up at 5 a.m.? I was feeling so tired. I had no clue how I would stay awake the whole day. I was literally daydreaming about how and when I'll go to sleep. But I just kept going. The book said, keep going. So I kept going for weeks, for months, and at some point, something shifted internally. I don't know when it was, but something shifted. And I'll let you in on a little secret, which I'm sure you all have figured out by now. My life didn't change by waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning. But what it did was way more than that. So, I'm not sure what screen. So if you can look at the screen, that's what my work to-do list looked like in the morning of a normal COVID morning. Keep the company alive at any cost. Now on the right side of the screen is my personal to-do list, which was keeping me alive. One always took over the other for me, and I wasn't being amazing at either. I was just about average, like my marks in school. I wanted to be the best at both, but no matter what I was trying, I just wasn't able to swing it. I wanted to be a good business owner, but I turned into an inadequate parent. I wanted to be an amazing parent, husband, son, brother, but I was becoming an inadequate business owner. And honestly, it is somewhat normal for even a startup founder to be a little bit bored, to be alone, to have a cup of coffee on the balcony. But the entry permit for that is discipline, which then gets you resilience. Before this is how my brain would work. Be a dad, mental switch off. Be a boss, mental switch to husband. Mental switch to a person who has to save his business. Mental switch to motivational speaker for my team. Mental switch, mental switch, mental switch. But when I started waking up at the wonderful time of 5 a.m., I could be all of those people in the most amazing and meaningful ways possible. Only because at 5 a.m., I could actually find the time to front load things for the first time in my life. I have time. I have time to find solutions to problems, and they don't have to keep piling up. And that gives you mental clarity. Most people need a vacation to achieve this mental clarity, but believe it or not, I have the equivalent of a calm vacation brain at 5 a.m. every morning, and I don't have to pay for a ticket to Maldives to do that. Before I got into the 5 a.m. club, this is how my brain used to function. A critical employee is quitting. Oh no, what's going to happen? The business is going to fall apart. We can't survive without them. But post that, it's a feeling of calm. It's a feeling of understanding. We will figure this out. My son is sick. Going to feel anxious the whole day. Going to feel a little bit unsettled throughout the day. Now, I can be the best version of myself for my son, and that just helps him much more than the old version of myself. Before being a part of the 5 a.m. club, everything felt urgent. But now, I can focus on those things that really matter. So here's the bottom line. I believe that if life is hard for you, in most parts, you're extremely lucky. But it takes resilience to be able to maintain that privilege, because pressure is a privilege. And if you want to build grit and resilience, and you have to train it and nurture it, because at many, many points in life, and I'm sure every single person in this audience has gone through it, life's going to throw a lot of pain at you. Now when it does, you pretty much have two options. You can keep absorbing those hits, and it might feel like grit and resilience at the time if you're able to survive it. But eventually, it breaks you down, and you start fading out. Alternatively, what you can do is, you can be very deliberate and build a system of things that allow you to withstand it. Resilience is never built in comfort. It is built by voluntarily doing hard things. These aren't things that a lucky few are born with. It's inside all of us. We just have to train it like anything else that we want to be good at in life. I didn't believe I had resilience when COVID hit. I didn't think I was a resilient person, but I was. And I've nurtured it to what it is today. And that's what's got Arata so far, and this is what's going to take Arata further. I'd like to end by going back to the very start, back to the pandemic. We had to survive on literally no money without letting go of a single person for more than 6 months, until a wonderful set of investors came in and invested in Arata. It's been 6 years since then. And you know what else? I've raised 2 wonderful children, one of whom my wife and I raised without a nanny. Now, if that's not resilience, what is? Where did the 5 a.m. club get me? It's not even about the moments of success or outcomes that may or may not have been a byproduct of waking up at 5 a.m. The 5 a.m. club has made me an incredibly resilient person, packed with grit and toughness. The fact that my family, friends, and team members can count on me, that is probably one of the highest honors that can be bestowed on a person. But the most profound honor is that I can depend on myself, no matter how difficult the situation is or how dire the circumstances are. So, does everyone here want to build resilience? Well, let's get home and get to bed, everyone. You got to wake up at 5 a.m. Thank you, everyone. My name is Dhruv.